Yeah. Alright, response video to the evil one. Yes, I'm anti-Piro now. Yes, it's just not un-Piro. I'm anti-Piro. He's evil. He's a sadist. An insane sadist. Yeah, I mean, there's no logic here at all. I mean, he's a lunatic. So let's just play some of the lunacy.
Well, we disagree on antinatalism. Now, the thing is, this issue of having kids is selfish, selfish, selfish. Well, how is eating, continuing to feed yourself and to survive?
Right, so just change the goalpost right away, right? Just change the subject. The subject isn't what other things are. The subject is what is having children, okay? And yeah, it's a selfish act to satisfy what could be described as a less than urgent need, okay? It's not like you need it or you're going to have some torture performed on you or that your body is going to get cancer or something like that. No, that's not what procreation is. Alright, so you want to compare it now to the survival instinct, quote unquote, the necessary function where people feel awful if they don't eat and they don't continue to live. If they do anything to degrade their body, it usually hurts and is uncomfortable and is unpleasant. That's the truth of it. We don't have some sort of great euthanasia. They even have a problem now even executing criminals humanely. So don't glibly, again, just step right over your action, step right over the rudeness of it in its very face, the arrogance of it. It's not just selfish, it's preposterously arrogant for you to think you have a right to draw straws of fate for other people, especially when you personally experienced colossal fucking failure. I mean, you just can't, you know, there's no other word for somebody who actually sees the train wreck and then sits there and says, build another train. You can only call that person a fucking sadist.
Selfish. You're not taking resources from the earth for yourself.
Resources from the earth for yourself. Again, we're not talking about taking resources from inanimate, non-feeling organisms. We're talking about you drawing straws for a sentient being based on some notion of a good experiment. The idea is like a bird laying eggs. Now, not only are you laying your eggs in shit, what is your right to sit there and have them hatch in the shit? It's going to happen. You're doing it to sentient beings. We're not talking about, ooh, you know, you took something from the inanimate object called the earth. Retard.
I think it was Laffix that said, well, you know, that's, you know, survival is a necessity, but you don't have to have kids. Well,
glib, glib, glib again, right? So again, this is like comparing somebody who likes to have an apple after dinner to a heroin addict, you know. And so this is what he calls some sort of philosophy. Yeah, right.
why is your survival a necessity?
Because you'll be harmed sensually if you don't maintain it. To get yourself out the door requires all kinds of checkpoints where they're going to insert and do all kinds of unpleasant things for you to get out the door. It's the way it works, Einstein. You just had a conversation with a guy who failed in 2 suicide attempts 2 days ago. But yeah, that didn't occur to you because you're so fucking self-absorbed.
You know, how do you know you're going to accomplish something? Why is your bet that you can accomplish something any better than
they're not saying the bet. The bet is the difference between, again, if I'm going to Las Vegas and I'm going to gamble with my money, it's really very different than if I'm going to gamble with my neighbor's money. those two things are different. You can't understand how they're different. You don't understand how it's different when you're doing something to somebody else, when you're doing something that might, like on the border of your property, and the wind's blowing in your neighbor's direction, that you have a certain responsibility that might be where I don't mind. Well, I don't mind doesn't work in the real world, does it? Some women might not mind being raped. Does that mean all women should be raped?
The idea that if you have a new person in the world, that they couldn't learn new things. I mean, they're more likely...
Yeah, they couldn't learn new things, like how to die of an overdose, or some other kind of crazy, stupid thing to learn. What are people learning on planet Earth right now, you creepy motherfucker? I mean, there's people learning how to lie, there's people learning how to cheat, and steal, and connive, and manipulate. There's lots of fat people, there's lots of people on antidepressants, there's lots of drunks. What are they learning, shit for brain? Then let's not even get into the billions of people who are preposterously underpaid and overworked. Let's not even talk about that. Fuck, you suck.
Things than people that are already here. You know, and sure, you know, wanting your family to survive.
Wanting your family to survive. We're talking about making families. We're not talking about the survival of an existing family. So again, change the subject. Break every fucking vocabulary word and break every subject and call it philosophy. No, you're a malicious distorter of truth. You suck so fucking bad.
And continue to exist could be called selfish. But
yeah, again, it's not the subject, wanting your family to survive. Is that the subject? Saving your children from the swamp thing? No, that's not the fucking subject. The subject is the conscious decision, the willful decision not to use protection to prevent pregnancy. To impose, to create a life form, to play fucking God, to declare it okay. If it comes out badly, if it turns out badly, too fucking bad. You sadistic fuck. You don't give a fuck about the victims, you don't account for their fucking existence, you just fucking suck.
It involves valuing the survival of more than just yourself. So if anything,
yeah, the survival of more than just yourself for what fucking rational reason? Oh, there isn't a rational reason. All there is religious reasons to do that. There's only religious reasons to value something other than yourself in the sense of something feeling or being harmed or being hurt in some way. There's no harm or hurt that comes to something because you didn't create it. So again, just another lie, another canard, another distraction, another pile of vague nothing statement about here's some precious thing. Here it is. It's over here like a photon in the fifth dimension. Yeah, it's not real, jackass.
Less selfish than just you yourself viewing yourself as a necessity, as a necessary part of the universe.
No, that's what people are doing when they're surviving, is viewing themselves as a necessary part of the universe. No, what they're doing is getting by. That's what most people are doing. And certainly there's a percentage of people who find life, this planet, the human race, the whole game being played quite abhorrent and repulsive and disgusting. And if it occurs to them to wonder, why the hell did they do this again? They might draw the conclusion that they only did it for stupid and idiotic reasons.
So necessary for the universe now that you're here, that you fight for your survival.
Well, again, that's, is that fair cop? Is that a fair paraphrase of the person who says, well, I'm here, I have the knowledge, I might as well put it to use. I'm on the war zone, I have a gun and a uniform, I might as well do my part.
But, wanting your species to survive, which is everybody, every human.
No, it's not wanting them to survive. Again, we're talking about procreation, jackass. So again, this isn't about your survival, this isn't about your family's survival, this isn't about your cat's survival, This is about you deciding to perpetuate it, to sit there and create the need. Okay? Not satisfy a need, create need.
Surviving. That's supposedly more selfish. I don't think so.
Yeah, of course you don't think so, because you're an arrogant, obnoxious, disgusting piece of shit. A glibist who can't figure out that if there's victims, I can just wash that away. I can just whitewash over the victims. Fuck them. They're in the way of my progress. So every asshole who has minimized another person's harm, if the government tortures to protect our freedom, why would you object? That's their fucking right. Who cares? It's only a victim. Why should anyone care about a victim? You don't give a fuck about a victim, you fucking hypocrite. So why the fuck should the government have to give a fuck about a victim? You fucking dishonest piece of shit.
To acknowledge that a lot of the reasons for having kids turn out to be pretty selfish, but not inherently.
Oh yeah, I'll acknowledge it, but not in there. But not inherently. Well, that makes a big difference. So let's dissect selfish into inherently selfish and some other kind of selfish.
It's not inherently every possible reason. And frankly,
well, go ahead. Try again with that every possible reason. Your theory was you were going to have super children who were going to clean up the mess you weren't willing to clean up. So your parents didn't build the world, a proper nest. You didn't build a proper nest, and your ambition was that your kids would finally build the proper nest on planet Earth. They would fix the economy. They would fix the unfairness. They would fix the war. They would fix the violence. They would fix the unnecessary drug overdoses. They would fix all of that shit. And your excuse for not doing it first is, oh, that's right. No excuse.
Maybe I conceded too much in that if these guys are going to tell me that, well, somebody has to be here to fight for veganism, then
yeah, they're fighting for things like antinatalism. So again, just change the subject again. But of course, if they're here, they can do the job. That's right, and they don't need to make an army by breeding one. There's no point in having a breeding war. You can't win breeding wars usually. The more malicious and sadistic people will outbreed you. Civilization can't breed itself into existence. It has to convert the fucking heathens, retard.
There's no reason that a vegan family it can't expect that they're going to have kids.
A vegan family. So even that whole notion that somebody should raise their kids some sort of, I'm going to control the experiment. So again, you still haven't learned that it's not a controllable experiment, that you don't get to choose who your kids are going to be, or what they're going to believe in, or what their philosophy is going to be. And that the more you try to do that sometimes, the more you narrow that aperture, the more diffraction you create. You still haven't figured that out. You're still that fucking stupid.
That'll have vegan ethics, and therefore fight all the stronger for veganism.
Yeah, there you go. So I'm just saying, so he thinks you can win a breeding war with idiocracy. He thinks civilized people having the proper number of children and raising them in some sort of nurturing environment, giving them lots of edifying and decency skills, is somehow going to outbreed the people who don't give a fuck and will fart a baby out in a cardboard box. Yeah, right. Civilization will beat idiocracy in a breeding war. And this guy thinks he knows something about math and statistics and logic.
You guys are making unjustified assumptions.
No, you're making unjustified evasions. Just deal with the subject. Just declare plainly and simply, I think I have a right to make decisions for other people's welfare. I think if I create victims, it's okay. If I run over a little girl on the street to get to my grocery store, okay, because I want to see the human race survive, it's okay. Okay, fuck the victims. Just say it out loud, fucker. Have the balls to say it out loud that you don't give a fucking rat's ass, that you will not account for their existence. Just say it. Say you don't fucking care.
When you want to just say, I'm supposed to take it for granted that your survival is a necessity, but that the survival is...
Well, again, that's not what anybody's saying. What they're saying is that their comfort is a necessity. And it's perfectly rational to once you're here to be in that condition. Every animal organism is in that condition. They have a sentient welfare. They have to preserve it, to think straight, to feel straight, to do anything straight. Just to even as a foundation, their health is everything. You can't figure that out? Shit for brains?
Self isn't a necessity. You can all be called selfish.
There we go. Another just evade all rational distinctions between what's going on here. Just keep doing this. Keep calling cricket, football, soccer. Blend them all into one, so nobody can make a rational argument that certain ones are stupid. Okay, that bullfighting should be outlawed. Yeah, no, just throw them all into the same category and mix it all up so they all lose distinction, because it's to your advantage for your agenda. Just a gross destruction of logic, a gross destruction of meaning, of vocabulary for one purpose, and that is evasion of the subject.
Necessity. And I think it's a personal choice. Looks like the
yeah, okay. Again, it's a personal choice. It's a personal choice to play biological experiment with something else's consciousness. That's people's personal choice, and they've earned the right to make that choice for somebody else from where, oh, that's right, nature gave them the eggs, they have a right to play with them. So again, my fist, nature gave me, lots of weapons nature gave me, I should just use them by my choice, by my own volition. There's no external standard, there's no application of logic or reason in proportionality or efficiency. You can just take, okay? Because nature gave you taking tools, you can take. Fuck you. Get your hands off my existence, you motherfucker.
But in no way should you go out there and tell them they should do it.
Should do what? No one's saying that. Oh, duh. I mean, this whole thing, again, somebody has a right to impose on somebody else. They have a right to make this. They are all qualified biological experimenters. There's some sort of qualifications innate in the human organism. So we did need tests to license people to drive, but procreating, no test required, no competency required. It's not a dangerous thing to do. It's just laying eggs. Who the fuck cares? How could that be consequential? I mean, what a grotesque evasion. Alright, so here's a great, you don't even need much than this one here. You can decide for them. I am not being dishonest. I believe Gaia is an organism. Well, where you go with that, right? So a spiritual and Gaia is an organism. Gaia, which isn't even a thing anyway. The molecular arrangement of the biosphere. So the biosphere apparently on Jupiter is a Gaia. The little red spot is a Gaia machine. And it's doing little Gaia stuff, and yeah, it doesn't have humans on it, but it's Gaia. It doesn't have living things, but it's still Gaiaing all over the place. That spot is watching. That's probably watching photons all the time, and they're probably collapsing, from their other dimensional existence all the time because of that spot on Jupiter that's watching them. Fuck. I really do hate this planet. And most who occupy it. I mean, this is disgusting. This is what intelligent people, this is how they have masturbated their brain so fucking hard They're fucking. It's distorted and perverted and swollen. They've destroyed the member and turned it into some sort of hideous monstrosity of a goddamn thing. Ugh. You're fucking disgusting. You people are just disgusting.